New pilot language.
Welcome back. Welcome. I'm so glad to see you back. If this is your first time, welcome to Pilot Language. My name is Ra, and we about to tap in today. I want to start off by saying my summer, my highlight reel in that 35 zone, been crazy. It's been something to talk about. And it's not for me to brag. It's not for me to like throw things in people's face, but gratitude, and just taking that time to having them short wins, some little celebrations, it really counts in your journey.
That boy is good.
Like I said before, my summer, cause in the summertime, I become older, so I'm 35 now. So my summer so far, Emmy nominated.
New pilot language.
You can call me whatever you want to call me, right? You can call me real one. You can call me felon. You can call me by my name, Ra. But make sure, before any of those titles come out your mouth, make sure you say Emmy nominated.
Damn, son, where'd you find that? Everyone sound effects.
I never thought in 100 years, me being down south, me being locked up, me running around and doing whatever I was doing, I never thought it'd be come a day where I would tell you and I would look in the mirror and say, you was Emmy nominated. I feel like I got robbed. I feel like I should have won, but that's okay. This to be in that room, this to be highlighted, and this to be celebrated in that moment, that's everything to me. And I think when I think about it, I think about a lot of other legends other than myself, because I'm a legend. But I think about all the other legends. I remember a brother named Denzel played Malcolm X. And Malcolm X, when I first heard that he was going to be Malcolm X, I said, yo, he looked nothing like Malcolm X. Why would they do that? Like, he liked that, but why? Then when I looked at the movie and I really got inspired by the movie, and it came to the point where I didn't even see Denzel no more. Only thing I seen was Malcolm X, if I ever met Malcolm X. And he didn't win the Oscars that year that he got nominated. And the journey, because I had to go out of town, I had to go to Boston to, be nominated, be at the awards, and, just sit in the audience and get that good energy. I had to go to Boston, so I had to go OT. That journey, just to go be nominated for my Emmy, was crazy. Like, that week was crazy. It was storming that week. I'm talking about it was flooding in Boston. So I'm in a Sprinter truck. I'm in an all-black Sprinter truck. I got the team with me because it was more than one being highlighted and being nominated for Emmy. So I got the team with me. We driving. I'm the driver. I got my mix on. Oh, I'm glad I brought up this story. Y'all look out for that PL mix. Y'all look out for that pilot language mix. We're going to do that in an episode in the future. Y'all look out for that. He's a pilot. He's a DJ. He's a real one. My name is Rock. Sir Rock. So y'all tap in and stay tuned for that PL mix, because it's on the way. we gonna figure this out, Joe. We gonna figure this out.
It's news to me, but I'm ready.
But look, let's get back to the story. So I'm on the way to Boston. It's storming outside. I'm talking about it's crazy. So at first it was just drizzles. I'm like, all right, it's all right. We jamming. We got married. We got the weekend. We got Pop Smoke. It's crazy mix going on right now. It's good energy though. Rest in peace to Pop Smoke. So we driving to Boston. Now the rain that got so heavy I can barely see outside. So I'm driving slower on the highway now. So anytime it's storming on the highway and them floods come up, people start driving stupid. So now it's accidents on top of accidents. I'm like, dang. So we left at 2 o'clock going. Well, we left at 2:30. We left at 2:30. I was going to get there at 4:30. That 4:30 turned into 5:30. That 5:30 turned into 6 o'clock. I went from driving on the highway. We was going like, I was going like 70 and 65. I was playing it cool, 70 and 65. And then when I feel like it was no police around, I bumped up to 80 because I wanted to be on time. I wanted to be punctual while I'm being celebrated. So I was going 80. When the storm hit, everybody's going 35. Boston lit any day. So imagine everybody headed towards Boston going 35 miles per hour on the highway. And we in flood. So we finally get to Mass. Certain roads is cut off because they flooded. So I had to keep going the other way. My waves is jumping. My GPS is jumping. They keep having me want to go back to where the flood is, but I got to keep going the other way. I never been to Boston, so I don't know shortcuts. Everybody behind me I don't know if they never been to Boston, but they wasn't trying to help with directions. So I keep trying to figure out, like, how can I get there? And it's the way that GPS is telling me to go is flooding. So I finally figured it out. Finally get it together. Tapped into that PL language, that PL vision. We get to the hotel. The hotel is downtown. Downtown Boston is really like that. Like, for me to never been there, for me to be this onlooker, I'm like, I got to double back. Like, on my free time, when I got down and I want to be outside, I'm going to Boston. I'm going to downtown Boston because it was just so lit and it was just so vibrant, even in the storm. It's flooding, like I told you. It's storming. People got umbrellas and they still outside. They still bar hopping. They still going from restaurant to restaurant. They just moving. And I was like, yeah, I got to come back. So we get to the hotel. Remind you, I got a Sprinter. I got a Sprinter because my team, we outside. We celebrating. We lit. We lit. The Sprinter got some height on it. Anybody who know what a Sprinter look like, you know it got some height on it. I go to the parking garage where, we supposed to park at. Now, every New York, Jersey, D.C., Baltimore, all these parking garages that I've been to before, it's always kind of high because Sprinters, maybe sometimes, like the U-Hauls, it always make room for us. Yo, that little meter, what it tells you, like, if you this high, you can't come in. It was so low when I first came in with the Sprinter, it was hitting the top. So I'm just like, come on, man. Because this ain't my Sprinter. So I ain't got time. I ain't got time to be figuring out and have a conversation while the top of the Sprinter is messed up. So I'm already heat. I'm hot. But I want to have good energy and I want to be, happy that we finally made it out of that storm. And I don't want to, pass that on to anybody else. I'm just like, dang. So I get past the first part. I'm blocking traffic now. I'm to the side where somebody can get past me, but I'm not. Like, you can get past me, but I'm making it difficult because now my problem is going to be your problem. Because why did you do this, hotel? That looks very nice. Why did you put it so low that a Sprinter can't come through? And this is a luxury hotel. This is a nice hotel. So I know I'm not the only Sprinter that pulled up in real time. So why is it so low? You know what? We're going to figure this out together. I'm blocking traffic and somebody gonna come talk to me. So I send my people outside. I'm like, yo, go talk to the valet and ask them, like, yo, what I'm supposed to do. I got somewhere I need to go. Like, where are we gonna park at? Cause I can't get past. If I got past that one, I know I definitely can get past the next one. So my people jump out. They go talk to the valet. The valet spin them. The valet just walk away from them. So now I'm upset. Now I gotta put my little, lights on, and I'm out the Sprinter now. You got me out the Sprinter now. Now I need answers. So I'm walking around. I'm trying to figure out like who can I talk to, cause it's all moving parts. This is the same place that we having the wars at, so it's a lot of bodies just moving. It's a lot of tuxedos, nice dresses, nice jewelry, nice people, good energy. You don't know who really here for what or who's valet, because everybody's sharp. So I'm walking up to the dude. He has a suit on. He's greeting people and he's shaking people's hand. So I'm walking up to him like, hey, how you doing, sir? He's like, hey, how you doing? I'm like, yo, I got a quick question, bro. Not to, put my problems on you, but I got a Sprinter. I'm here for the awards, but I got nowhere to park. Is there any way you can help me? He said, I wish you could, but I'm a pilot. I said, you too? Well, what do you know? I'm a pilot too. He said, I wish I could help you, but I don't work here. I said, it's all right, but I appreciate that. I go to somebody else. Same thing. Dressed nice, greeting people, join the vibes. Ask him. He's a pilot as well. Then I sat back and I'm like, yo, all these pilots at this hotel with this pilot. Pilot language in Boston too. We outside for real. So I finally get a hold of valet. Valet helped me out. They put me to the side. So look, they put me to the side where I'm not getting, tally for the hours I'm here, or, it's not a bill gonna come. So I'm like, okay, that's what's up. Cool. They got me on the side. They looking out. Okay. They show love to the pilots for real in Boston. We get inside. We park the car. We finally we get inside. It's on the 4th floor. I get to the 4th floor. All I see is just lights. I see posters. I see, like I said, good energy, good people walking around. And I ain't gonna lie, I kind of froze for a minute. I'm like, damn. Whoever thought a young man from the South, a kid from the South, is in the establishment of getting nominated for an Emmy. I knew I did a lot of things in my life. I had a lot of wins. I had a lot of losses. I had a lot of this experience. But I never thought I had the experience of being nominated and being highlighted for an Emmy. For Best Documentary. And I'm going against the Boston Globe. Ra from 2-6. Ra from Cumberland County is going against the Boston Globe. That is amazing. I remember sitting down at the table, looking at this. The food was garbage, but this enjoying the water, this getting the experience. It was amazing. It was amazing. Like I said, I feel like I should have won. I feel like I should have, came out on a W. But this having that experience, going through that storm in Boston, going through that headache of trying to park, meeting so many other pilots, and this being nominated. This telling my mama that, I was nominated for an Emmy. Telling my peoples, it's like, yo, you came home 2020 and you got nominated for an Emmy in 2025. That's elevation. You got movie posters in 2025. You got your hats. You got your mugs. You got your podcast. You got your brand back. You know, gratitude, like I said at the top. This gratitude. Then, even though, like I said, you know, we got nominated, we didn't win. It was still a party. It was still a celebration. I still took too many pictures, a lot of pictures, a lot of phone calls, a lot of smiling FaceTime. We leaving. So we leaving. I'm still on top of the world. I'm still like, yo, anytime somebody address me, put Emmy in front of it. Emmy Ra. Emmy Sir Ra. I go to, you know, where my car at. So I don't see the Sprinter. I go to the spot, you know, where I parked it at. I'm like, dang, where my Sprinter at? So I go to the valet that I met, and I'm talking to him. He like, oh, you gotta go to the side. We parked it. I said, damn. They charged me. I thought I got away free. So I go to the side. You know, I'm talking to the people. You know, I pay a little fine, which is cool. I'd rather pay that fine to get it towed. So I paid a little fine. And then, you know, we left. Still on high energy. The road was clear. Boston at night with the lights is amazing. And, you know, this shout out to Boston. This shout out to Boston for bringing us out. Shout out to the Emmys for highlighting me. And, you know, just paying attention to me and my team. Shout out to the experience. You know, that's not going to be the first Emmy. Let me say that today in Gemini. In the Gemini season, which is my season. But I'm going to say that in the Gemini season, that's not the first Emmy. That's not going to be the last. That's not going to be the last one. Definitely the first, but it's not going to be the last. Now, you got to think about that, right? Because don't get me wrong, I did try to play it like mellow. I did try to play it cool that I was being nominated for the Emmy. I was positive saying I was going to win. I was positive saying that, you know, we're going to bring home the trophy and all that. But over 1,000 documentaries is dropped every year. Over 1,000. 11,000 was dropped in 2020. So imagine all these things you can look at. You got to think about it. Diddy got so many documentaries out right now. All these mass killers got so many of the same documentary. Osama bin Laden got so many documentaries. So you got so many platforms of things that is pumping every day. And my documentary that I was a part of was nominated for an Emmy against heavy hitters. You had me in that ring with heavy hitters. Blessings. But I want to stay on gratitude real quick before I send my shots, because I got shots later on. But before I send my shots, I want to stay on gratitude real quick. I want to highlight one more thing. You could have asked me 2013 when I got locked up. You could have asked me 2020 when I got out. You could have asked me 2009 when I graduated from high school. You could have asked me in those 3 different stages, yo, will you ever be nominated for an Emmy or have your own billboard in the city? I would be like, nah. I would have said I deserved it. I would have been like, maybe. But in my head, I'd be like, I couldn't imagine that. But my summer right now that I'm, you know, demonstrating, I'm navigating, and I'm trying to always level up, I got my own billboard. I got my own billboard in the city. So when I'm driving, I'm in traffic, and I want to look up, I see pilot language. I see pilot lane.
He's on fire!
That's the name of that street now. I don't know that street no more. Only thing I know from that street is Pilot Lane.
New pilot language.
And I want to shout out to my brother Joe. I want to shout out to my brother Joe for the one time because he was in cahoots with this. he was cahoots in this. My brother came together with my family, and they produced something that I go each and every day out my way to see. It don't even matter if I need to be on that side of town. I know Pilot Lane was posted up, and I'm posted up. I'm going on that side of town. I'm looking at the billboard, and I'm moving in gratitude. I'm moving in gratitude because that's what it's all about. We move so, I know for me, I move so fast, and I just want to execute, and I just want to get things accomplished. And sometimes I get these little wins like this, and I get these major highlights. I just take it in that moment, and I go right back to the drawing board. I got my head down, and I'm working. But just having that gratitude to put my head up and celebrate, I feel like that's going to always keep that engine running. So I just want to I want to highlight pilot language because we came a long way. We came a long way. I want to highlight my team because I appreciate them. And the team is everything. But let's talk about what's going on right now that I don't like. Or I find concerning. I ain't going to say I don't like. I just find it concerning because it's deeper than rap. But I feel like I want to highlight it because it don't make sense to me. I had to take the sunglasses off real quick. I want y'all to look at me when I'm talking to y'all. I want to have a conversation when I'm looking you in your eyes. I want you to hear me. Do everybody remember freedom of speech? Y'all remember that? Don't worry if you don't, because I'm going to talk about it. Do everybody remember that it was set up in our laws as far as being Americans that if we want to protest or petition the government, we can do that. We can express our concerns to the government. But when NPR or PBS does that, it becomes a problem, right?
Let him cook now.
We got to protect public broadcasting. We got to protect freedom of speech. We got to make sure that it's okay to be a free thinker. I don't got to be a pawn.
Perfect.
It's okay to collaborate over isolation. The puppet master is with Disney. The puppet master is Clarence Thomas. Oh, yeah, I still don't like you.
To this day.
I ain't talk about your whole ass in a long time. I still don't like you, Clarence Thomas.
To this day.
That's the puppet that y'all can be comfortable with. But as far as the masses, as far as me, as far as Joe, as far as pilot language in the community, we not with that puppet thing. The saving lie. They said they're going to cut PBS because they want to save funds. They said they're going to get rid of NPR because it's a waste of money. Okay. But it costs over 30. It costs over 30 bands to have a parade in D.C., though, for your birthday. Because you try to paint that picture that it was about the military, but we already know that you had a problem with the military. That's why you ain't joined. We know you don't like the military. That's why you came at John McCain. You remember when you talked down about that hero? PBS funding is 0.01% of the federal budget. But it served 80% of the U.S. households, including low-income families. Now, anybody would tell you that. They going to tell you that. We going to tell you that. Anybody who's telling you about PBS is going to say that. But who is that? What's the real name behind low-income families? Section 8 babies, the PJs, high rise, the hood, trap, whatever you want to say. But these same names that I just named, it's the same system you created a reality for over-policing, food deserts, and a lack of access. A lack of success in, let's say, entrepreneurship. And you created by redlining. And it's a problem with free education programs. Let's get to PBS, though. This is truly a war on civilians. This is a war anybody who say this is a war for anybody who say they're American, who proud to be American, who make sure they shoot up and put their hand against their heart and pledge allegiance. This is a war against you. And why do I say that? PBS Kids is the number one. It's ranked number one with most trusted children media brand. Kids who watch PBS show outperforming peers in reading and math. If you don't know how to read, what you gonna do out here? If you can't do simple math, how can you live in a household and have yourself and your family surviving in a household? And when you're younger, when you're innocent, and you don't got so much of propaganda, illusion, traps, falsehood coming at you at 100 miles per hour, you're a free thinker. Your energy is ready to explore. Your mind is super thirsty for information. Looking at helpful tips towards life is golden. Let me tell you, because I know you already know. If you lived in America, if you born in America, you American citizen. If you want to make America great again, I know you already know what I'm about to say. PBS gave us what? Sesame Street, Arthur, and the Magic School Bus. And that's just to name a few. You remember Sesame Street? You remember that, right? This is the same program that taught over 1 million. I'm going to say 1 billion. I'm going to throw my hat out there and say 1 billion. It taught over 1 billion of kids how to read. Improving vocabulary and early math skills. If you grew up in the 90s, if you tell me you a 90s baby and you look me in my face and you say you don't know nothing about Arthur or the Magic School Bus, let me raise my hand. Let me be the first one to look you in your face, in your soul, and tell you real quick, the truth is running away from you. The truth ain't in you. I used to love looking at Arthur on TV. I used to race home, jump in front of that TV with my Kool-Aid smile. I done kicked my shoes off by the door, so I ain't got my shoes on. So I'm sitting on the couch with my Kool-Aid smile and my snacks. and my juice. And I'm tapped in. Arthur had the Caribbean vibes too. The intro was going crazy. It was fire for real. And I know you remember that intro. I know you know that intro. And I say, hey, what a wonderful kind of day. What a wonderful kind of day. When you walking down the street. I know that's not, bar from bar, but classic. But that's an issue. That's an issue when I can learn in real time and be entertained and get mad with DW, Arthur little sister. And be like, yo, Buster, you tripping? Like, calm down. His best friend, the rabbit. But it's an issue with that. It's an issue when I can expand my mind. The great NPR listeners are 2 times more likely to vote. So people who listen to NPR, they more informed, they more educated, and they're pushed to exercise their free will. And that's a problem. Just think about that. Why would they want to cut that? I just find that so hard to understand why you want to cut somebody leveling up. Somebody evolving in life. Somebody not just sitting and watching time move past them. NPR helped design a better mindset for me. And I can say truly from my heart that. Now, did NPR tell me to be a better person? No. Did PBS force me to be a better person? Never. It starts with self. But when I say my better mindset came in play when I tapped into these resources, at one point in time in my life, I had to share 2 TVs with over 80 people. in one room. Well, one room, one household. I'm sharing 2 TVs with 80 plus. From the time the sun rise to the time the sun set in prison. We had a sports TV in one corner, and we had a regular TV for whatever else in another corner in NC, in North Carolina prison. The regular TV never really touched the news. Not because we hate it, not because, we want to be deaf, dumb, and blind. Even though that's what certain people would like. It's not because none of that. It's the fact that the CEOs, when they felt like changing the channel, that's when they changed the channel. So let's say from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., right? Let's give that ratio. So 6 in the morning to 8 at night. They changed the channel maybe 4 times. So we had radios, and that's what my solution was, and that's what I tapped into. And NPR gave me BBC World News. So I'm getting real news in my city, in my, country that I'm in, and in the world. Not propaganda. Not the fuckery. TED Talks. TED Talk was free Ivy League level education. Ivy League. What's Ivy League, right? For the ones who say, what is that? Or for the ones who try to look past that because they don't want to hear this. Ivy League is Yale, which costs a lot. Just ask any student. Ivy League is Harvard, what costs a lot. Ivy League is Quinnipiac, which ain't cheap. So I'm listening to something I can hear every weekend for the free. And I'm learning about my mindset. I'm learning about meditation. I'm learning about the world. I'm learning about tools that I can practice in real time to get to another point faster than the trauma that I'm already dealing with.
That boy is good.
If you into TED Talks, and people who don't know what TED Talk is, it's a demonstration that they'll get a speaker, and the speaker will come in front of an audience, and they'll pick any topic they want to pick from, and they'll elaborate. So sometimes people talk about the art of exercising. Some people talk about the art of having stress and how that can be beneficial to you. A lot of times people might talk about depression. People might talk about the level up. It is all these type of real life situations that we could all learn from and build from and bring it to our lightness and come into a better state. And I'm in chaos. I'm in fuckery 24/7. So now I got something that I don't got to pay for in commissary. I ain't got to have my people pay for, through subscription. And I can just really sit down in the space where I have to sit down and learn in real time. Why you want to take that away? Because that's what they said, right? Because that was the biggest argument. Why would we have PPS? Why would we have NPR when they could just subscribe? They can just get an audiobook. They can just go on YouTube. They can just get a Fire Stick. They can just get all these type of things. Masterclass. But Masterclass ain't free. A Fire Stick ain't free. Subscription's not free. But these people's lives is way more valuable than your subscriptions. And we have a way to help and assist the growing community. Why not? I was somehow leaving the prison system when I was listening to NPR. Even though I took that plea, even though I had a sentence that and a contract that I signed and I had to live by that contract till it was fully done, me listening to NPR in the morning, at night, when I got tired of looking at Philly lose on the sports TV, when I got nightmares that KD went to Golden State after losing when he was with OKC, all them times, you remember them times? for anybody who likes sports. When I was going through that trauma, I put on NPR. I put on some healing. I put on some entertainment that I can also learn from. So I'm getting away from the prison system where I was stuck and I was in that cage and I had my headphones in and I'm taking out notes. I don't want to miss nothing because now I'm in the mode of studying because I have more to talk about when I talk to my family. You know how much I used to beat myself up when I used to get on the phone every day and ask, what you doing? Did they send that cash app? What happened to such and such? Because I had nothing else to talk about. True indeed, I want to know what you're doing. True indeed, I do need cash app. I'm locked up. True indeed, I want to check on, family matters. Check on people, see how they living. All that is important. But I don't want to get on the phone for 15 minutes to talk about the same thing every day and expect you to pick up the phone every day. How's that going to work? How am I find peace in that? So now I have an outlet where I can study, I can learn, and now I can give back. So now we're flowing. We flowing energies on top. So now I'm leaving prison in my cell and I'm leaving prison when I get on the phone. That's double. That's a double. Shout out to Angela Reese. Shout out to Baltimore. I got a double in real time. I love it. I'm cooking.
Let him cook.
It is.
But I'm gonna tell you the real agenda, because that's the word they like to use. They like to say NPR has a agenda to attack us. NPR has an agenda to make sure that they only highlight the worst in us. They only highlight the Democrats. The real agenda is private media profits when public opinions is zero. If I can just sprinkle the fuckery, if I can just keep you blind and you got nobody else bring you to the light, my job is easy. My job is a walk in the park. I love it. But I'm trying to keep you in the state of your lower self. I'm trying to keep you in the state of you just being a pawn and a worker. I got to get rid of NPR. PBS Kids is ad free. PBS Kids is ad free. So when you on YouTube, when you on Netflix, when you on Hulu, and you see all these ads while you trying to get a little bit of entertainment and maybe education, depending on what you look at, PBS Kids and PBS gonna make sure you get the whole thing. NPR has a slim ratio rate of shareholders. Let me say this again too. About 1%, between 2% of NPR funding comes from the Congress. So 1%, between 2%, we talking about pennies, right? But we can shoot a parade on June 14th that costs over $30 million. 42 million. It costs $42 million. We can do that. But 1% or 2% is a hassle. And we'll throw that little, that little blind over your eye. I'll put that wool over your eye real quick. And I'm going to tell you that I'm celebrating the soldiers. I'm celebrating the army. I'm celebrating the heroes. Because I'm going to go down to Fort Bragg and say some nut shit about how I'm going to bring back racist people, oppressors, Confederates, because I'm all for the military. But I didn't go. No. I didn't go because my dad set it up that I get a pass. And then certain people who did go to the Army, I make it my business on live TV, social media, and anytime you put a camera in my face to disrespect them. You disrespect Purple Heart heroes, but now you for the heroes? PBS costs $1.40 per American per year. That's less than your favorite coffee at Starbucks. And I can't stand Starbucks. Or Dunkin'. NPR is 0.47 cent. Because when they talk about taking NPR away, I ain't gonna lie, I got hype. I'm like, no, they can't do that. They can't do that. They're gonna just take away NPR. How can they just take away that station? NPR is straight. It's the cities. It's the states. So we pulling all this funding from these states and these cities, and they can't afford it. They just dubbed out. NPR good, but these states and these cities is gonna feel it. You telling me, because even though they didn't call my phone, even though I didn't get no text, they didn't jump in my DM and tell me that they was taking away NPR. They didn't jump in my DM and telling me they taking away PBS, but I took that shit personally. I took it personally because I'm looking at the whole landscape, and by me looking at the whole landscape, y'all gonna put out at the same time that y'all saying this. At the same time, y'all gonna spit in our face. You gonna tell me you gonna have a game like American Ninja where immigrants can compete to be American? It's gonna be based on American traditions and highlighting American values and celebrating being America and what is a privilege to be a citizen of the United States of America. That part has me feeling very uneasy. It's a lot of us that can name and highlight more situations where these games for their entertainment becomes everybody else's deep pain. Throughout history, people of color were forced to entertain their slave masters. And what is entertainment, right? Because not only did we work for free for over 400 years, not only was when we were so-called free, Texas had to wait 2 years to figure out they was free. Shout out to Juneteenth. Shout out to history. Shout out to the hands that was working. With this entertainment and this free labor and all this energy that you pulling, some of you cannot even form your hand into the Arthur fist for 30 seconds to fight. So just imagine fighting to death. These great people of the past were fighting just to have an outcome of still eating scraps of food, living outside in the back with the pigs, with the cows, with the free labor. And when I say fight to the death, I'm not talking about that one fight scene in Django. No. You remember that fight scene? It was a lot of blood. It was a lot of pointless violence. That weak slave master tearing on a boxing match fought bare knuckles with wrestling involved until somebody stopped breathing. Way before Dana White. This sick game wasn't about freedom from the cotton field. It was about gambling and strictly entertainment. And the ones who were lucky enough to find themselves surviving after that fight, they wasn't the winner. They still faced more labor work and more beatings. So before you try to tell me this game could be different, remember, America once turned human suffering into a sport. The winner got nothing. The loser got worser. And the audience just laughed. The resolution is not entertainment. The way we can get back into a balanced state of mind is not by pointing and laughing. It's surviving. And to my peoples, and the one who can hear my voice right now, please protect public broadcasting. Because it's nothing wrong. If you ask me, I don't want to get rid of Fox News. I don't want to get rid of ABC, CBS, CNN. I don't want to get rid of that. I'm just saying at least have other options. Have people just pick what they want to do. But when you take certain things away and you push certain things forward, now you have my mind begin to look at you different. Now you getting the side out in real time because now what's really going on outside. What you really up to, bruh? You can have that. Have the Fox News. Fox News is there because it's supposed to be there. It's all about balance, right? We can get our fruit or we can get our poison. But this don't have me just eating straight poison. At least give me the option to get my fruit if I want to get my fruit. Protect us at all times. Protect us far as a people, far as a land, and far as our young ones that's coming up behind us. This is Pilot Language. My name is Ra. We're going to keep applying pressure to you house coons. I have a list. Clarence Thomas, you're number one. I ain't talking about you in a while, but I ain't forget about you, sucker. Peace and blessings.
Clarence Thomas is a throwback, man. It brings me back.